What's up, everybody? My name is Maddie, and I am joined by the beautiful Amanda, and we are the proud co-hostesses of this podcast. From true crime to conspiracy theories to just a bit of girl talk and putting the world to rights, you never know what you might get with us. One thing we can guarantee, though, is that you probably will laugh at one of us by the end of each episode. So grab a drink and join us as we deep dive into life's greatest mysteries and answer that question: what's going on? What's up, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Maddie.
And I am Mandy.
And this is What's Going On. First of all, we're going to apologise for the audio issues on the second half of our last podcast, our last episode. It was not good.
It took a dark turn.
We had a lot of technical difficulties even trying to record the second half, and the audio is... I sound fine, but Mandy's mic didn't really want to play. So she is very quiet, and we do apologise. We will try and up her as much as possible in the editing, but I already know it's going to be pretty bad. So, we are sorry, but it is our first episode, so give us a bit of leeway, I think.
This one we'll do in less than 4 hours.
Yes, it took us so long.
4 hours for a second half.
But today's episode is conspiracy theories, your favourite. So I did look into the history of conspiracy theories, but we'd be here for another 4 hours if I go into it. So I literally just have the definition. But the definition of a conspiracy theory is a belief that some secret but influential organisation is responsible for an event or occurrence. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, many. I did try to pick some that aren't, the ones most people think of, JFK assassination, moon landing, reptile people, 9/11, those kind of things. But really, what I found is that there's a lot of negative connotations around not just conspiracy theories, but the people that believe in them. Now, I know for you, you're a big believer, aren't you?
I believe in everything. Very open-minded.
Yeah, I think for me, it's more the psychology behind it, which I'll touch on at the end because I have a question for you at the end once we do this. But yeah, so I've got 4 for you. I'll start with the 2 older ones and then we'll do the 2 newer ones. I'm just going to give you a bit of background on each of them. Now, the first one is long.
Okay.
And I have a background to literally read because I was never going to remember everything. But this one's my favourite. It's more of a unsolved mystery, actually, than a conspiracy theory. It's more there's conspiracy theories about, the explanation behind it. But I saw this one ages ago and I love it. And it's the Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
Mad Gasser?
No, not the mad gaslighter, the Mad Gasser. So I'm just going to read you a little story.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to hash all the pronunciations of the names, so I apologise now. But yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, exciting.
In 1944, on the night of August 31st, Orbone Rafe awoke in the early hours of the morning to a strange odour. He felt nauseated and weak and was violently vomiting. Thinking he was a victim of domestic gas poisoning, his wife went to check the stove but found that she was partially paralysed. The next night, Aline Kearney noticed a strong sweet smell at around 11 p.m. that became stronger and stronger until she started to lose feelings in her legs. She also reported a burning sensation in her lips and throat. Her husband, Bert Kearney, who was a local taxi driver, came home at 12:30 a.m. and noticed an unidentified man hiding close to a neighbour's window. He ran after this man, but couldn't catch him, but described him as a tall man in dark clothing wearing a tight-fitting cap. The next morning, the local newspaper published a story on the experience of the Kearneys, and this is when it really took off. In the following days, there were dozens of reported attacks, but each time the police would never find anything at the scenes. There was never any evidence. That was until the night of the 5th. On the 5th, at around 10 p.m, Carl and Beulah Cords found a cloth on their porch, which she picked up and sniffed, becoming immediately ill. Her face started swelling, and she experienced a burning sensation, vomiting, and partial paralysis. The police analysed this cloth and found no traces of chemicals that would have explained her symptoms. That same night, another woman reported that someone had broken into her bedroom window and tried to gas her. In the nights following this again, more and more attacks were reported, but this time round some physical evidence was being found, such as footprints under windows and tears in window screens. On September 12th, the police released a statement saying that the entire incident was likely the result of explainable occurrences exacerbated by public fears, and a sign of the anxiety felt by women while local men were on war service. Following this, the attacks did become less frequent before they finally stopped, but the police never found the supposed gasser.
Interesting.
So I really like this one, just because it's like this really fucked up thing that happened to this town. The first thing that annoyed me was the police statement. Just straight away I'm going to get on this, because it was, oh, the women are scared because the men are away, basically. But there's three main theories. So what would you like? Would you like one theory at a time, or all three, and then your
All
thoughts?
three, probably. I don't guess. Like, people have been farting on cloths or something. Like, what's going on?
That was the other thing that struck me, was this woman found a cloth on her porch and was like,
Did you smell it?
she just immediately smelled it.
That's so strange.
If I saw something on my front door, I wouldn't be like, I've got to sniff that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so, especially like what was going on at the time. Like, why would you just be like, yeah, that is a normal thing to do?
I smell that.
Yeah.
A bit odd.
Yeah, it is a bit odd. Right. So the first explanation for this one is the one that is the most commonly accepted today, which is mass hysteria. Now, I have a definition for mass hysteria.
Thank God.
So, mass hysteria refers to an outbreak of unusual and uncharacteristic behaviours, thoughts and feelings, or health symptoms shared among a group of people. So, 2 weeks after these attacks, the local Commissioner of Public Health, Thomas V. Wright, announced that there was undoubtedly some attacks, but many instances were due to mass hysteria. They were the result of the townspeople hearing distressing news about alarming events, which made them more susceptible to being scared by out-of-place sounds and smells. Most of the symptoms experienced have also been suggested symptoms of hysteria, such as choking, swelling of mucous membranes, and weakness or partial paralysis. The second theory is to do with toxic waste. So the chief of police at the time, he told a press conference that the symptoms were from nearby industrial plants. Specifically two chemicals that I'm probably going to absolutely fuck up the names of, and my dad's going to be really annoyed because he's a chemist, but sorry Dad. So he said it was specifically two chemicals called carbon tetrachloride and trichloroethylene. So they were both sweet smelling, and they can also cause the symptoms experienced. I think they brought in some like chemical experts as well that also suggested that it might be chloropicrin, which I think is a rat poison, but they never found any traces of it. But one of the companies implicated was Atlas Imperial, and they released a statement saying that their facility only held about 19 litres of carbon tetrachloride, and this was all contained. And they also stated that the quantity of trichloroethylene you would actually need to make the town sick would have meant all their workers would have already been sick. And then the last theory is it was literally just someone, it was literally just a person, because there was a lot of reports of sightings of this person. And also interestingly, I couldn't find a lot of accounts of this, but in 2003, a local high school teacher called Scott Maruna published a book about everything that went on. And he named, definitely going to mess up this name, Farley Llewellyn as the gasser. So Llewellyn was a chemistry student, and he actually did have an at-home lab that I think the police raided. And he was this town outcast, he was a heavy drinker, and he expressed his hatred for the town repeatedly. But Maruna suggests that he was experimenting with chemicals, namely nitromethane, which also has a sweet smell, and can cause nausea, swelling, burning of the mouth, and interestingly, it also evaporates quickly, which it may suggest why the police never found any traces of chemicals. And apparently Llewellyn was actually a suspect at the time, but the police put him under surveillance, but attacks happened while he was under surveillance, so they kind of just ruled him out, like let him go. But those are the three theories.
Yeah.
So
the second one, I don't think that's even relevant.
The toxic waste one, yeah.
I think it's a bit of a stretch.
It was like from nearby fields, or yeah.
I think that one is a proper stretch. Like if you've got nothing to go on, that's the theory.
That's the theory, yeah.
Although
the third one.
Yeah, what was you going to say?
Well, interestingly, someone made a comment about if it was a person, because they did have those chemicals on site. Could it have been one of their workers, maybe? Because they had access to them.
Yeah, that's true, to be fair. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. What was the first one again?
Mass hysteria.
Yeah. No. I'd say the third one.
The third one.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in the first one. Because mass hysteria is a very real psychological thing. But I do believe there had to have at least been some. Well, the Commissioner or Health, or wherever he was, local Commissioner of Public Health, he did say there was undoubtedly some attacks. Yeah. Because it has to come from somewhere.
Isn't there a sighting every time someone had this attack as well? Like someone saw something.
Like nearly every time, yeah.
So it's definitely a person.
And there was footprints and like under windows that had been broken into.
Yeah. There was this whole thing that I saw about this, that they believed it was a woman. That
there was,
a sighting of a woman, all in black, high heels.
Or also a woman dressed as a man as well. Yeah.
Imagine if it was a woman. You think get a lot of women.
Well, I wonder as well, because it comes back to the second theory about, or I thought about, maybe it was a worker. If it is a town where their men are on war service, then more women would be working in the factories.
Just some woman going mad. Running around in a little high heel.
And what do you think their motivation would have been to even do this?
Because there was never any like murder or anything after. It was literally just gassing people, watching them suffer for what?
And it was about 12 days. I think it might have been like 2 weeks these attacks were going on. And then it kind of just stopped.
What was the motive? What was the reason for it?
But I feel especially as well, like if it was a woman and the police released that statement about, this whole thing has been mass hysteria because women are so anxious. I think if I was the mad gasser and I was a woman, that would make me want to do more attacks, to be like, fuck you, kind of thing. Like, what an awful... I mean, it's different times, it's 1944, but... Yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one.
I feel like it was a woman.
Do you think? Yeah.
I just feel like if it was a guy, he'd gone to an extent of, like, murdering the people or something.
You get a bit sexist, but yeah. I don't know. I think it was a man. Yeah.
The mad capper, the one wearing the hat.
Because I think there was just more reports of a mate. Because the consistent thing was that it was someone tall.
But women can be really tall, especially in heels. Tall and slim.
That's true. But could a woman run away that quickly in heels?
Women can run in heels?
No, but like it would make a certain sound that surely... Because I think 1944 high heels aren't like... They're not stilettos, are they? Yeah. They're like little court shoe heels. But they still make like a certain sound.
Yeah, that is true. And weren't men actually known to wear heels first before women?
Were they?
Yeah. That's a whole different subject. But
that's a whole different subject. Yeah. But maybe.
Yeah, okay, maybe then. That is a weird one. I just never understood the whole motive behind it though. Like, you've gassed someone, made them sick. You've not even done anything. Like, you've not robbed them.
A power trip kind of thing. It's about control, isn't it?
Very weird one. There was a whole conspiracy, which I know you know more about the supernatural side of it. Like, I couldn't find too much on that.
It's a very, very small amount. That's why I didn't add it in. Because, again, there's only like 3 main theories. But there was a woman called... I want to say Edna James. I think that was her name. And she ran a boarding house. And she had a supernatural experience. Because she's actually... she was I think she was a fortune teller or something. I'm going to look it up now because it's going to annoy me. But I think she went down into like a basement and saw this like really like lanky like 6 foot figure, and its limbs were like really long.
That is terrifying. It's always when they're tall and lanky, it's terrifying. You never really get a short ghost, do you?
Yeah, no, think of like Slenderman. That's what I'm trying to think of.
I hate him.
Maybe it wasn't. Oh yeah, no, it was Edna James. So I couldn't find a lot on her. There was only, she didn't really appear like in the wiki or anything. She kind of literally just appears in this one article, and very, very briefly. Yeah, so she was a local fortune teller, and she smelled a strange odour in the boarding house. When she ran to investigate, she would later claim to have encountered an ape-like man with long arms reaching out, holding a spray gun, who doused her with 3 clouds of gas that caused her arms and legs to go numb.
That's so weird.
That makes it sound a little bit normal, though. That it was just sounded like a tall man. Because she did say he was holding a spray gun. But I swear I saw another account that was like, he just like released gas on her or something.
Yeah. Very strange.
But yeah, there was very little information. I wonder if that does become like a thing. Like, you know, we think of supernatural things as things because we can't explain them.
Yeah.
And because no one had a clue about...
They're just thinking of every possibility. Yeah, for me, I'm just stuck on the whole, like you said, probably a power trip, but it's just like, why? Like, what was behind that?
Because people are messed up.
It's so strange. Like, are you just watching people on the floor paralysed? Like, I don't get it. It's such a weird thing.
I do wonder, because there was the Aline Kearney. She... What was it? She experienced it at like 11:30 or something. At 11, and her husband came home at 12:30, and he saw that figure. So it could have very much been that he was watching for an hour and a half.
Just fascinated, probably.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like, you know, with like murderers and stuff, when they go back and like look at the body.
Yeah. Kind of like, this is my work.
Yeah.
That's so odd.
It's weird, isn't it?
So odd. Almost as odd as the woman sniffing the little thing on the porch.
It's a strange choice, isn't it? Like, if you know everything that's going on, why would you...
Or just something from the street in general on your doorstep, like...
Like, if you're going to pick it up, put it in the bin. Yeah. Don't...
Sniff it.
Put it in your face.
Deep inhale.
Yeah, I think for me, Llewellyn is probably the one I'd go for.
Yeah.
A bit of Llewellyn and a bit of mass hysteria. I do think there was definitely a mass hysteria aspect to it. But I do think Llewellyn is a very good suspect.
Yeah.
Because that would be a motive as well, because he was a town outcast and he hated the town.
Yeah, to be fair.
But he's dead now, so I guess we'll never know. I think the guy that wrote the book actually might also be dead. Because think about how many people in that town that went through it are still alive.
Yeah. When was it? 1940?
1944.
Yeah.
Probably not many.
So that'd be what, like...
Because I think, like, my grandma was, like, a child at that time.
Yeah.
And she's, like, 90-something now.
That's crazy. I'm trying to think how old they would be if they're 1940s.
But if they were, like, 20 in 1940s...
Yeah.
They'd be over... Yeah.
They'll be long gone.
They'd be, like, 100 and something.
They're
dead. But, yeah. So, do you think it was something supernatural, or are you going with...
I'm going to go with probably just some crazy ass person running around in heels. Having a gas trip. I just want to know, like, what sort of gas we're talking.
That was the thing, they never figured it out.
Yeah, so strange.
But I guess the investigatory power in 1944 was probably not very good. And they were very understaffed in the police force, because, again, a lot of the men were on war service. Yeah. So they were, because they did say that attributed maybe to the mass hysteria, because there was like no control over this town, basically.
So someone's just farting on these napkins.
Just absolutely toxic farts, yeah.
Gufters. Yeah, that is a strange one. But yeah, I do think it's just someone having a power trip because they could. Like, they didn't have intent to murder anyone or anything like that, clearly.
Yeah, or just like a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
But then why stop? That's the thing. Because it would just not like they got caught.
Yeah. They just
They just stopped. They just moved on.
Maybe they ran out of gas.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, can't get that supply anymore.
Because again, we don't know what they were using. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was their farts, maybe they just cleaned up their diet. Do you know what I mean? Their farts just didn't smell anymore. They weren't having the same effect. To absolutely paralyse someone.
Yeah. No, that's a gufter. That's a conspiracy.
That is, yeah, that's wow. So the other three are a lot shorter, I promise. That was just a long one because there was actually quite a lot of background to it.
Quite interesting though. Just it's a weird one.
It is a weird one. So the next one is called Agartha. So this theory first appears in the 1873 book Le Fils de Dieu, which means Sons of God. And yeah, it's about Agartha, which is this legendary kingdom that is located. There's conflicting whether it's under the surface of the earth or like actually like right in the core. But it's often related to the Hollow Earth theory, which I think is a slightly more modern theory, although it's still an old theory, which is the idea that inside our Earth, like the inner of the Earth is just hollow. And apparently this like city was where like the original language of mankind is preserved, and it was like destroyed 5,000 years ago.
Interesting.
The conspiracy theory is that this 100% just still exists. It's located within the Earth's core, and people believe that like this holy man went down there, like led some people down there, colonized it, and now like it's Agarthans that live there, and they have this scientific knowledge that's just like so far beyond what we have. There's also this guy, and this is where this theory really took off, called Admiral Richard E. Byrd, who claimed he had flown to Antarctica, flown into the Earth, and found Agartha, and said it was like this shiny metropolis, and like all these like advanced species. But I actually struggled to find things specifically on Agartha because it kept coming back to the Hollow Earth theory. But I did watch this one TikTok. I need to find it to show it to you because the guy on it is so funny. Because he's like he's like this expert on like Agartha or whatever. And am I boring you?
Long day.
And he like asked this, like the interviewer asked this guy, he's like what's down there? And this guy just sits there and straight up goes, giant monsters. And it just made me laugh for some reason. But he said like imagine like a big hairy like ape looking person. And he also said there's like these like species down there, and there's like these two native species. So one's like a reptilian species that they call like the raptor species, and another one's like this insectoid species, so like ant people. And they have like a whole like different kind of gravity and stuff. The only thing he said, which is the only thing I could find that was relatively consistent across everything, was that there's actually Atlanteans down there. Like, you might know the legend of Atlantis, and that they live and work down there too. But yeah, that is the...
It's very out there.
And you believe it, don't you?
I think it could be true. I don't see...
I think any of these I say, I'm like, yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? You're going to hit me with some knowledge now, aren't you?
The issue with it is that the Earth's core is not hollow.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Scientific experiments on gravity, seismic waves, like the times it takes seismic waves to go around the Earth, it wouldn't be possible with the core.
So you just gave me this conspiracy theory, now you're chucking it away.
Well, I'm debating you because I don't believe in them. But also, good luck to them down there if they are down there, because the Earth's core is about 6,000 degrees.
Super suits.
It might be a bit toasty down there.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
But you would maybe believe that one.
I mean, yeah. Not now you've said that.
Or you're not even going to give me anything back.
No. Can't really. I don't know what to say on that one. Can't really like fight science with that, can I?
It's kind of weird because I kind of believe the legend of Atlantis.
Yeah, I definitely believe in the Atlantis thing.
Yeah. I think it is just harder to put that into a context of under the earth crust or like within the earth.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, I don't know though.
Because it could be possible.
What if? I don't know. No, I don't know. Just what if?
Just what if?
Yeah. I don't know.
Thought you got on that one.
Yeah, the whole like it being crazy hot down there kind of shut it down.
Yeah, it's about. I think it's about 6,000 degrees. I think the Earth's core is meant to be.
Yeah.
Also, it's like I was watching a video on it, and it was do you know who Curtis Connor is? He's a really good YouTuber, and he was saying like because he did a bit on it, and he was like, could you imagine like have you ever had a downstairs bedroom, and like the amount of noise that even when we were in York, the people above us in the flat above, it was so loud. Imagine that, but like however many billion people there are on the earth.
Yeah. No peace.
No peace.
They're all dead down there.
They're all dead. Yeah. They're all completely toasted, or they've killed themselves from the noise.
Actually, just a ghost town.
This is a ghost town.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe because there's a lot of lore and history that goes back about civilizations that live in tunnels underground. That's a bit more believable than within the Earth's core.
Yeah, within the core's a bit
much.
A bit much.
Yeah.
But I do see like, I don't know, I do see something behind it, but yeah, just not the core maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's definitely an advanced species hiding somewhere.
Yeah, I do believe Among Us as well, 100%.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Why not? Just chilling.
Just chilling.
And just watching us rot.
Okay, so I'll move on to the more modern ones. So the first one is humiliation rituals. And this was a huge thing, especially this year, on TikTok, Twitter, or X, sorry. And it's a really, really weird one. So it basically states, humiliation rituals are used by the elite to ensure absolute devotion and loyalty during the initiation process. Rejection, pain, and embarrassment are used to humble that person and prove that they will receive power, fame, money, but they are just a puppet to their masters. So it seems to be like whenever a celebrity does something a bit different or a bit out there, everyone was like, it's a humiliation ritual. Kind of like when Doja Cat shaved her head. Because she was like, I feel sexy, like this is what I like, this empowers me. And everyone was like, humiliation ritual. It's a huge thing in Hollywood. I could only find evidence of it in Hollywood. But there was two that kept popping up for me, and one was, did you ever watch the Oscars from this year?
No, I actually didn't.
So you must know who John Cena is.
No, it's not. I was thinking of the WWE guy. No.
You know, that is him.
It is him.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I know that name, but like I said,
He is a wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah.
He came out naked. Yeah, to present, and when literally just had like a little card in front of his
One along.
And it went absolutely viral because people were like humiliation rituals are so real. Like,
I do believe that.
Like, yeah, he was like, this guy is embarrassing himself on live television. And the other thing that popped up was male celebrities wearing like skirts and dresses and wearing makeup, especially for like sketches, for like comedy shows. So the examples that I was seeing a lot was like when they were on like red carpets and stuff, or like photo shoots and stuff. But I saw a lot of comments that were saying like, so these celebrities are like drugged or they're like drunk before they do this, and they might not even know like they're being taped. And it was, some people were attributing it to, they were selling their souls to the devil, and that Hollywood is run by the devil.
Yeah, definitely run by the devil.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Like all the Illuminati side of it and stuff.
Like actual Satan?
Yeah, probably. I would not put it past anything. The actual devil. Lucy.
Lucifer himself.
Man like Lucy. Running around. All sassy. Yeah, I do believe in that. Like the whole, especially the sacrifice kind of stuff as well. Like all that mad stuff. Yeah. But what I would rather take humiliation over sacrificing someone.
I think that's like an option.
I think there is. Yeah.
I guess I find it harder to believe because what is the humiliation ritual for women? Because it has very much been only like male things that I see pop up.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about how it's like...
I think with women it's more probably sacrifice.
Because I think every video I saw, I think out of like 10 videos I watched, there was only like one that was a woman who was giving the definition of it. But it was all men that were like saying how it's like destroying masculinity in modern society.
I mean, there's been certain things with women like Kim Kardashian and the sex tape. Like back then it was a big deal. Obviously these days it's kind of normal.
I do think about all the like Dan Schneider stuff and like Nickelodeon and what went on there. So I think maybe for women it's more of a sexualization thing.
100%. From such a young age as well.
Yeah, like they were like kids, weren't they? But yeah, I mean, I don't believe that Hollywood is run by Satan himself. But I definitely think there is an extremely dark side. Yeah, there's definitely some fucked up stuff that goes on.
I do think they worship the devil though.
Did you ever watch the All Quiet on Set documentary? It's really good. That's about all the Dan Schneider stuff. I didn't. I knew he was a terrible person, but I didn't quite know everything that went on. Is awful, absolutely awful.
I actually hate him.
But yeah, I don't believe that it's the devil.
I think they worship the devil and they are very demonic and very cult-like.
Do you think that's all of Hollywood though, or just like the higher ups?
I honestly think it's all of Hollywood from this point, because they always said the higher ups, but then everyone has always said like just don't go to Hollywood.
Don't join. Yeah.
I think it's all just very dark and twisted.
Maybe.
Yeah, the industry's a messed up place.
See, the thing is, I think for me that because they were talking about how it's destroying masculinity, I don't think it's a bad thing. Because the masculinity in today's society is extremely toxic.
And men wearing like heels and putting makeup on, it's really not that humiliating at all.
Like it's so normal, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
It's funny to me as well, the example they kept using over and over again was Harry Styles. Because he dresses very fluidly. And I'm just like, if you're going to use an example, maybe don't choose like a like beautiful person that looks really good in these things, do you know what I mean?
Beautiful. I get you. There's a weird one. So you don't believe? Do you believe in the devil and stuff then, or no? Or demons?
I used to. Just because I did used to be really religious, so I did like believe in God and the devil and all that. But I think now I've lost that faith, because I don't think you can believe in one and not believe in the other. But I definitely think there's evil forces in the world. I definitely think there's like bad energy.
Demons and stuff.
No.
Really? Interesting.
I think it's more like a universal imbalance. But not like actual demons, no.
Oh, I do.
Do you? I'm like, am I sat next to one right now?
No, just slightly unhinged.
Slightly unhinged, yeah, we can deal with that. But yeah.
I do think Hollywood's a very dark, demonic place.
It's very twisted. I think a lot of stuff happens that we won't ever know about.
No. A lot of stuff has come out, but then again, it's just like, just stuff that they want us to know now that they're ready, now that they decide for it to come out. I think it's all very controlled. You're like, what? I do think that. I think that they give us as little information as like a little teaser. Like this whole Diddy stuff. Why is it only now coming out? Because this is probably a distraction from something.
See, I believe that in the way that media is like that.
Yeah.
Like, if there's something they want to detract from. They will just start throwing random stuff out.
Yeah.
So whenever I do see a big story about something that kind of happened a long time ago, but like new information is coming out, I do wonder like what has happened that they don't want us to know about, or they don't want us to concentrate on.
I feel like they know so much as well, and they're just giving us like the bare minimum. Let us all make our own conspiracies about it, our little theories about it. But they know.
And then people call you crazy because you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
It's kind of a win-win, isn't it, for them? Yeah.
They love that power. They do.
They do. It's like, you know when they always said, like, with the royal family, where they, especially with the Prince Andrew stuff, because that was all very, like, hush-hush. And I feel like other weird news came out at the same time, and then he just kind of stepped back from royal duties and disappeared, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot to say on the royal family.
That might be another episode.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of thoughts on them as well.
Yeah. Yours good stuff though.
No. I don't
Don't mess with that.
Don't believe in a monarchy. Monarchy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we should have one.
I don't think they're good people.
No. Apart from Princess Diana.
Yeah.
She was the one good one.
She was the one good one. Look what happened. Another theory we can get in.
That's another conspiracy theory. That is, I do enjoy that one. That is one of the ones I do actually believe. Yeah.
You actually believe, bloody hell.
I do. There are some that I do think that are true, but they are a lot more tamer ones.
Yeah, the more realistic ones.
The ones that more people believe. Yeah.
Close mind. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Okay, so the last one is, I think you'll really, really like, because it's very similar to something you've said to me before that you believe in.
God,
So,
the list goes on.
The base of this theory is that we all live in a false reality.
Yeah.
And that these beings called archons exist and control the mental matrix we live in. And that our purpose on Earth is that we are basically a food farm for these archons. And the food we produce is a spiritual thing called loosh. So there's a lot of variations on archons, but they're essentially like the builders of the universe, and they like rule it and control it. Right. And that loosh, which I think is a great word, is this hyperdimensional spiritual energy humans have and is produced when we feel extreme emotions, either negative or positive. And apparently these archons like feed on it, basically.
So they're putting us through all this for the loosh.
Yes. They're just getting high on this shit, you know.
Nasty.
But it's also referred to as the prison planet theory.
Right.
Which is the theory that we are all locked up on this planet, just for literally the sole purpose to provide loosh.
Great.
And so there's variations as well on who exactly is keeping us here. So a lot of people say these like archon beings. Some people say it's a reptilian race, and some people like it's aliens.
Right.
Because one theory I saw on Twitter was someone had tweeted that Earth was basically an experiment by aliens.
I said this to you before, didn't I? Yeah.
And that so aliens made us basically as an experiment.
I believe that.
And when they made us, they kind of accidentally made emotions and realised that they could get nourishment from emotions.
Right.
So slight variations aside about whether we're trapped or who is controlling everything, basically our world is fake and it's a prison that we are literally being reincarnated on over and over again.
Damn.
Just so that wherever these higher beings are can feed on our souls, basically.
It's insane. I want to have a word with whoever's in control here.
Actually, this false reality is shit.
Yeah.
But apparently negative emotions are more nourishing.
Yeah. Which is why humans get so bloody many of them.
Yeah, which we go through so much hell.
Yeah. Right, I don't want the loosh anymore. I don't want it.
But you're not getting loosh.
They're getting loosh.
You're producing loosh, yeah.
Loosh.
So we produce it and they eat it, basically.
Well, I retract that. You're not having it. Positive vibes only now then.
Yeah. I mean, that's still nourishment for them. You're still trapped here, basically.
Yeah. Have a word with whoever's in control here.
Yeah. I don't think they'll listen to you. I don't think it's like a direct line. You can be like, now listen here. I am tired.
It's been a long month.
Because I think the idea is that you die, you get reincarnated. It's just like recycle,
I don't like that.
reduce, reuse.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. But do you believe it though?
I feel like there's a very big possibility, yeah.
Because I know you believe in a lot of parts of it.
Yeah. Especially like aliens made us. Like I definitely believe that as well. Like we were an experiment / we were put on Earth. I said this to you before, didn't I? That we were placed here. We're not meant to be on Earth. We destroy Earth. We do. We've ruined this world. But yeah.
What do you think? It's like a social experiment or like?
I reckon we was a mistake. And they thrive off it.
They're like, look what that thing did.
A mistake that gives them loosh. Yeah, but I was going to say, why don't they just like wipe us out and start again? But clearly they're thriving from the loosh.
Yeah. Or they're just entertained from all the stupid stuff we do.
Can they not just remake us and not like take them emotions away, please?
Well, maybe that's why this theory isn't real.
It might be though.
Why have they not done that?
Thinking now. Loosh.
Because I know that you definitely feel like we live in a false reality.
100%. Yeah, there's so much more to life than this, for sure. It can't be just this.
So is this because you believe that we live in a false reality, or is it just you just hope this isn't it?
Bit of both now, Jay. I think The Truman Show puts a lot of perspective on it.
I love that film so much.
Like that did make me really think about.
You think we're all just a TV show?
Not a TV show, but I feel like we are very controlled and trapped. I feel like we're limited to what we can do. Like I think there's been a lot of stuff to control humans on what they can do and their potential. Like even if they put something in the water, anything, our food, anything, I think there's stuff out there that stops us being our unique selves.
Do you think that's more of a like government controlling or?
Probably, but then who's controlling the government to do that? I feel like they know things. Exactly, they know things.
They know things.
Yeah.
Maybe the government are the aliens.
Maybe. That's also a good one. Or maybe they just know that, they know the higher end people.
They know the archons that are absolutely sipping that shit right now.
They're literally brewing it as we talk, and they love it.
I want to know, what do you think it looks like in your head? Like, do you think loosh is like a solid or like a liquid or
a gassy blue liquid?
Blue? Okay, it has a colour. Okay, yeah.
I'm feeling blue.
Feeling blue. Yeah.
Sounds looshy.
I guess because it's like with spiritual stuff, we tend to associate it with
like paley,
like blues and whites and like aura-y colours.
I'm seeing bubbles.
Bubbles.
And on the maybe negative ones bubble up.
Just like little red ones, little black ones,
Little skull in there somewhere. Yeah, that's a very good one though. A very good one.
Thank you for finding it anyway. I didn't make it up.
I like that one.
But it was my last one though.
Yeah. So now I'm not going to sleep because I'm going to be thinking of loosh.
Yeah. Whatever your dreams are going to be tonight, someone's eating them. Or there's like, when you like can't sleep sometimes, that people say it's because you're in other people's dreams. Yeah. Maybe it's just.
It's not even that anymore.
It's not even that.
Loosh.
You're not producing any loosh.
I don't like that thought. Like I
put it in your head now, haven't I?
Theory, but I don't like the thought of us being like controlled and reincarnated just for some loosh.
Because it's like I have to do this life again.
Yeah, there's more to life than loosh. We're very spiritual beings. We don't need this. Let us live.
Yeah. So my final question to you was, yes, your thoughts on, because I have an answer, but I want to know your answer. Yeah. Why do you think conspiracy theories are so popular?
Why? Because I think there's a lot of open-minded people out there. I think there's a lot of people that want to believe in something more. And I think, like for me, like why not? Why can't it be true? It's very like, I don't see why not, because there's definitely so much more to life than just this. Like for example, like we're in this one world, but like look how many other planets and stuff are out there as well. Like there's got to be more to life than just...
We haven't discovered it all.
It's more to it than just us anyway, as people. Like, I think we're very spiritual beings. And I think we're just in a shell of a person, but there's more within. Yeah. Like, once that body's gone and we're like, next...
The next realm.
There's like... there's definitely more to it, I think. Yeah. And plus it's nice to believe in something than just this, isn't it?
I think that's why people are religious.
Oh, God. I don't know, because I'm quite open to religion as well. Like, I believe everyone's religion is completely valid. I also believe, why not? But at the same time, aliens, why not? I believe it all. That's what's going on.
That's what's going on. Yeah, for me, I'm just like really interested in the psychology behind it. So I was doing a lot of research on the psychology.
So you tell me I'm crazy.
Yeah, basically, no. So there is a lot of psychology on it. Specifically on the people and like why they believe. So a lot of older stuff, which I don't agree with, is that like belief in conspiracy theories is attributable to psychopathological symptoms, so paranoia, schizophrenia, narcissism, insecure attachment, those kind of things.
Okay, I ticked at least 4 of them boxes now.
But that's not enough for me, like, because it just shows people, it kind of just gives off like people that believe are crazy.
Yeah.
And that is not a good enough answer for me.
Yeah.
But so like more recent studies, so there was a study in 2020, or a review even, and actually it found that most cognitive neuroscientists don't believe that conspiracy theories are these pathological stuff, because they just exist so much in both historical and contemporary cultures, and humans do have this like innate like feeling of like, or like an innate draw towards gossiping and group cohesion, and I think conspiracy theories kind of like they feel a lot of that. But also interestingly, I was finding some evidence from family therapy. So people that are drawn to conspiracy theories are dealing with what we call an undifferentiated self. So this theory is that like these people struggle with like emotional dependency, so they tend to seek out validation and a sense of belonging from people that believe in the same things they believe in. So for me, I think why conspiracy theories are so popular is because of that, because there is a lot of, especially in today's society, there's a lot of anxiety. It's a very high stress society, especially with like social media and the internet and how quickly information goes around. And I do feel like there is a general loss of like feeling of a loss of control, because there's so much like distrust in the government and the justice system and just general everyday life. So I think that does have that influence on people, where you do have like less control or a feeling of less control, and seeking like validation and belonging in groups helps that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So I think people believe, because I don't personally believe. I think I mostly hear conspiracy theories and I'm like, that's nuts. But I get why people do believe them.
Like, why can't it be true? Why not? I definitely don't look at conspiracy theories for like validation or to feel part of a group or anything like that.
Well, would you know? It's a very subconscious thing.
I don't care.
Yeah, fair enough. Even if I was aware, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, like people don't believe me, or they're like, oh no, you're crazy. That's like cool, but I have an open mind. Like I don't know, literally anything could be possible. And why not? Who's to say no?
Well, a lot of them have been debunked by science.
But science could also be a lie.
Then yeah, you don't believe science is real.
I do believe it's real, but I just feel like
it's information that...
It's just stuff we've been told, that someone's made up.
But it might not be made up.
It's just what.
But then I guess that's the argument for conspiracy theories, is it?
Yeah.
Because like it might not be made up.
Like, yeah, I do believe like there's obviously the basics of science, which is obviously true, like evolution and blah blah blah. But it's like there's some stuff we're just being told that though, and we believe it because we don't know any different. Like, who are we to question scientists and be like, you're wrong?
But do you not think like, so I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
So, COVID, what happened with COVID, and the way the government acted, with no matter what the scientists were telling them, the government pretty much did the opposite thing.
Yeah.
And then lockdowns and everything was a total shit show.
Yeah.
They didn't listen to scientists.
What was scientists' reason for it then? What did they say about it?
It was about like how to control the lockdowns and stuff.
Right. And the government just went the complete opposite way.
Well, you know what they were like.
Yeah.
Our lockdowns were rubbish. They weren't.
They're arseholes. They have power trips. They don't care.
So do you think that the government controls what scientists tell us, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, why not?
That's just the answer to everything. It's like, why not, you know?
Yeah. I think the government are very controlling. They only want us to know certain things for sure. That's the same with voting. I don't think voting's real.
Do you vote? You don't vote?
I don't think it's real. I think they've already made up their mind. They're just making us feel like we have a say. To make us feel like our opinion is worth something when it's not. They literally already know who they want to pick.
But then do you not think that if that was true, we'd still have a Tory government?
No. What do you mean?
Well, because the Tories have been in power for so long.
Yeah.
And but then we've now got a Labour. I guess, because my view on Starmer is that he's a closeted Tory anyway.
I don't vote because I just don't think they really actually care about our opinion. I really don't. I think they do what they want to do. They've decided what they want. They're just making us feel like we have a say and we have some sort of power when we don't. We're literally nothing. Why would they give a fuck what we say or what we feel about anything? They don't.
See, I think that's kind of interesting because I think about like political policies.
Yeah.
And you know, like when there's an election coming up, they have their like what do you call it? Like the policies they release to try and get people to vote for them.
Yeah.
So they must care about what we think to an extent because those policies are tailored to what people want. Otherwise, people wouldn't be like, yeah, I want that, I will vote for them.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
But that could just be, that literally is just to get votes.
Yeah.
And then once they're in power, because they do that, once they get in power, they turn around on a lot of their policies anyway. Any party.
Yeah, I just...
Stay out of it.
I do stay out of it because I don't think they give a shit what we think. If that was the case, the world would be a better place, wouldn't it? If they really cared what we thought.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't... Yeah, they've never cared about... Like, look how fucking poor we are compared to them as well, for example. They don't give a shit. Like, so much stuff could be fixed and it's not. Because it's their way or no way. Literally, it's their way.
But I think that's more about rich protecting the rich rather than the actual government not giving a shit. Because I think there are like genuine MPs that care. Yeah. For now. That's interesting. I didn't know you didn't vote actually. See, I'm learning so much about you. There's something new that I didn't know about you. But yeah, that's all I had for you today. We haven't decided on what we're gonna do for next episode. But we will drop a little teaser when we do decide. Just destroying my furniture. But thank you once again for joining us. We definitely probably sound crazy to you now.
I think I'm ignorant.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have brought up politics. But yeah, thank you very much for listening and joining us tonight. And we hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on whatever time you're listening to this.
And a lovely headache from me.
Yeah, or maybe get some ibuprofen. But yeah, thank you.